Welcome, welcome, welcome. 2 p.m. with the Trigger live once again, streaming on multiple channels because we're here to help you shine on the camera, shine on stage, and elevate you and your brand authority. Let me ask you a question. It's all about streaming content, TV show, podcast. We're all creating our own shows and more. The noise is getting loud, it's getting crazy. But if someone asked you to explain your show in one sentence, to define your show in one sentence, could you do that? Do you have such clarity and definition of what you do and what your show is about? My show, Rock the Stage Show, is about media tips, insights, branding, and it is about helping you shine on camera and stage. Boom. It's media. Yes, there's entertainment. Yes, there's interviews, but that's what the show is all about. Do you have the clarity like that you can really declare what your show is briefly? When you go out to Hollywood and people talk about pitching a show, you literally have a moment in a room with executives and they want to get a quick picture of what your show is. You have to have a slug, a brief little statement that will grab their attention. Often you're combining a movie and a TV show. You're combining a book and something. You have to explain what it is very quickly and they'll go yes or no based on that definition. They will green light or give you a follow-up or not. Your audience does the same thing now. Audiences want clarity. There is so much noise. There are so many shows popping up, being rebranded, relabeled. And now the one key to your success lies in clearly defining your show's intention, helping your audience understand the value and the purpose for even tuning in. Do you have that nailed down? That's what we're going to dive into here today for our 2 p.m. with the Trigger time. And we need to just start off with the bare bones, the bare bones. Start with a clear mission statement. Again, you hear it every day, almost every day right here or on our Rock the Stage show, which is coming up tonight, 7 p.m. Eastern time. We have a great show with Sandra D. Robinson coming back once again. And we're going to bestow a new title on Sandra, by the way, so you don't want to miss it. But start with the clarity of your mission statement. What is your mission statement? Every business, every entity has their mission statement. Crafting that mission statement and what's going to be a compelling mission statement. The statement should incorporate the essence of your show, the topics it's going to cover, the impact you're going to have on the audience. Keep it concise and memorable so it sticks. You've already heard me say it right here. We help you shine on camera, shine on stage, help you elevate you and your brand authority. That's what Rock the Stage is all about. We do it with authors. We do it with TV producers. We do it with actors, actresses. We do it with many different people because we want it to be entertaining. We want it to be compelling. We want to change it up. But the essence of it is going to be the mission statement, Jan. You're right on it. Look at that. By the way, new graphics today. Halloween is coming. We're keeping up with the vibe of the season. So we're a little spooky and a little fun here today. As we get into this wonderful topic of helping you add clarity to what's going on. So work on that. Have that. It takes practice. With the people we coach and work with, we literally have them write it out. It's a long, rambling statement very often. Cut it down. Make it shorter. Make it more compelling. Add a word that pops off. People love to know about shine on camera and shine on stage. What does that mean? Oh, wow. So what is it for you? It is a process to get that nailed down, and it's concise and it's compelling. And Jan's an author. Jan's a writer. She understands the idea of crunching down the initial idea and getting it down to concise and sharp and powerful. That's what you want to do with your overall mission statement. You want to make sure it's going to grab people. So the same thing through your titles have got to be crafted, compelling, and descriptive enough. Today is 3 ways to help you define and brand your show. I could have said that 100 different ways, but I tried to get it down as concise, as short as I could, and tell you what you need. We're going to give you 3 big tips here today, and you want to make it compelling. Clear as you can be. Use the most powerful words you can. You want to paint a picture in people's mind. You want to help them actually feel it, taste it, sense it, and know this is going to be really worth their time to come for. The audience should feel that, wow, this is going to be worth it. So come up with regular keywords, you use words, and those keywords become your hashtags. They become your branding slogans. Those keywords are not just titles. You also help them do that. I'm always a little spooky. Thank you, Jan, for keeping it real. We love that. Thank you, thank you, thank you. We accept that, and believe me, the Rock the Story team would fully endorse that statement as well. So work on crafting those titles, those description. Now, here's the one I think most people struggle with. There's a fine line, but you need to showcase your personality. You need to define and come up with your unique personality. I might be a little bit spooky, Jan, but it's the spookiness and the fun of Trigger that does keep people coming back. That's what my tongue wanted to say. Your personality, the passion, your information, it sets you apart from anybody else. The more distinctive you are, the more people will make you memorable. Don't be afraid to infuse your unique voice, your energy, your perspectives and your comments and thoughts. You can always let people know you have the right to agree, disagree. You have the right to drop in the chat like Jan does and Aaron does and Roger does and Linda does and many others. You have the right to join the conversation, and because we're not banging you and beating you up, we're having a discussion with you. But your personality is one of the most critical parts of defining your show. Every late night talk show has them. Every daytime. Ellen DeGeneres is not like Oprah Winfrey or vice versa. Sports talk people have their own way of doing it. When it was ESPN and it was a 3-minute highlights and Boomer got on and went boom, 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 as fast as he could, ran it off the stats, the highlights, didn't take a breath. Nobody else could do that. And ESPN used that unique skill that he had and make it part of their halftime show. What are the things that make you unique, and leverage that for you and your brand? And Jan says, yes, unique, spooky personality keeps her coming back. See, the personality does work right there. Another proven testimony on that. But showcase your personality. At the same time, keep it real, keep it authentic. And tonight, that's what our show on Rock Stage is going to be all about. We did a whole 3-day series last week on 2 p.m. with the Trigger, talking about the outcry of people for the authentic voice of the media, of the talk shows, of the podcasters, of the authors, of the news journalisms. Tonight, we're going to spend the entire show talking about authenticity and this cry that is bringing a big shift in the public speaking, in the media world. How do we address it? How do we understand it? And how we break the glass even better? Believe me, Sandra D. Robinson and I are going to have a great time digging in tonight. You want to make sure you join us for that. I'm going to give you bonus tips here today. I promise you 3, but this has really been one of those things that is so important to help people with. You want to showcase your expertise. You want to showcase your personality. You want to highlight, but as I tell my guests all the time, my gift to them is to help them shine on camera and shine on stage. Showcase your guest. If your guest is show driven, if your guest is driven to help other people stand out from the crowd and share their book, their wisdom, their programs, their cooking tips, their mechanical tips, whatever type of show you have. If your show is really about helping other people stand out, do your job as a host to help them stand out even more than you do. One of the things that's very confusing about this podcasting media space is people want to be known and famous and become the next Justin Bieber or whoever you want to be on the YouTube channels or on the TikTok channels and things like that. I understand that. Been in this crazy business for 30 plus years. However, you are the star naturally. You are the expert naturally because you're the one hosting the show and you get to come back every week, every time, every day, depending on how often you do it. You naturally will slide into that. You do not have to force it, manufacture it, or create it. But what you can do is showcase your guests on the show in a way that amplifies them. And they will thank you for it. They will amplify your show for you. They will recommend more people to come to your show. And they will be able to tell the people, let me tell you about the show. And they'll be able to define the show. They'll be able to brand the show for you and tell people how amazing, how wonderful it is. I've had recommendations. I know many of the people that have had recommendations. That's how you get the next level, high powered guest on. Someone else is on your show. They enjoyed the experience. They felt like you respected them. You amplify them. It wasn't about you. And they will walk away and tell the people, if you want to be on a cool show, go to X show. But that's part of the defining it. You need to define what your show is going to be about. You have to define and explain the purpose. Again, ours is help you shine on camera, shine on stage, elevate you and your brand. Even if you already have a brand, even if you're an all-star NFL football player, Rock the Stage is still going to help elevate, amplify you, and help you shine. It's just what we do. What do you do? What do you do that you can define, that you can quantify, that you can amplify, that you can bring to people in a clear, concise way? Put it on your website, put it on your landing page, put it in your emails. Whatever it is you do, you want to make sure it's there. Adding that clarity and definition does not limit you. And some people will think, "Oh, Rich, you're kind of putting me in a box. You're sticking me in a place I can only do this now." No. You are making it better so people know who you are. They know what you do. And thank you, Jan. Now I'm going to blush. Thank you. But this is where you literally get to know your best territory. Again, I tried to be a news journalist. I tried to be the news anchor. I tried to read the teleprompter. I tried to have the news in front of me and the car crash and the children and the death. My face showed my anger, my frustration. My face showed that I was emotionally distressed. And I could not do the hard, serious news. And I realized that's not Rich or Trigger as the persona took on. I was the fun guy. I was the let's talk, let's dig into the question, let's probe around. But I did experiment with what I was going to be when I first began the journey of journalism. Part of defining your show is partly defining you, but also then giving you the freedom. I am so much more freer by being highly unscripted, highly curious, and not being embarrassed to let my guests know we're going to dig in. I'm going to listen, and we're going to go deeper than you probably have gone before in other shows. By defining your show and who you are, your guests will thank you. Your viewers and your listeners will thank you, and they will be more inclined to stick with you because they know who you are, what you present, and they're going to be curious to come back and see what you do next time. That is one of the compliments I've gotten over the years. It says, Rich, we kind of know what you do. We kind of know how you're going to do it. But darn if you can figure out how you really do it. So we keep coming back to see what you're going to do. That's part of the fun of crafting your own show, defining your own show, creating your own brand. As always, if you want to know more about this, drop me an email, rich@richbontrager.net. Even the creepy email down there. Look at that. Kind of reach out, connect with us that way. Or as always, we can take the time to have a consultant call with you absolutely free. Hit the QR code, book a call. Let's talk about your shows that you're designing. We help people launch shows. We help them go through that whole pre-launch decision definition time. Part of it's you. You are the brand. Part of it is your personality. Part of it is your style. And part of it is what are you going to be, and do the people know who you are? And why do they want to tune in? If you're in my generation, you can go all the way back to the 1960s Batman show. Always at the end, it came down to Batman and Robin in a cliffhanger stuff. They're about ready to get killed by the Joker, the Riddler. And at the very end, you hear, join us next time, same bat channel, same bat time. And they wrapped up every show over and over with the same way as a cliffhanger. And that was always the way. It wasn't NBC, it wasn't ABC, it wasn't whatever network, it was on reruns. It was the bat channel at the bat time. It defined a show, a generation, and redefined a comic book character. How are you defining yourself? How are you defining your show? What's going to bring it to life and make it stand out from everyone else and cut through the noise? Hey, that's going to do it for the day. I'm the Trigger Rich Bontrager. We'll see you back here tomorrow. As always, it's 2 p.m. live, 2 p.m. Eastern time. And once again, Jen under the wire, Batman and Robin. You got to love them. We'll see you tomorrow, 2 p.m. live with the Trigger at 2 p.m. Eastern time.